It's spring again. Yes. I am back, people. I am back. I am back. No iron mask. You know what I mean? Y'all can't iron that. You know what I mean? Listen, listen, guys. I'm so glad that we are here. This is the Intellectual Soapbox, all right? Tonight we're going to talk about vices, all right? You know what I mean? How do you handle them, all right? We're gonna play a video. We're gonna have some video time. We're gonna play the video uninterrupted. You know what I mean? Please be patient. Please sit through because we really need to focus on everything that's said. Okay, I'm not stopping the video for no reason. Everybody just gonna chill back. We're gonna watch it and we're gonna relax. But before we do that, okay? Before we do that, you know what I mean? I gotta bring in my peoples. Hold on, let me do some other stuff real quick. There you go. Let me bring my peoples, man. You know what I mean? Gotta show them some love. In chat, I'm gonna show you some love too as well. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Gotta bring in my peoples. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I gotta give them all solo shots because that's how we do things. You know what I'm saying? First off, gotta bring in Triple OG himself. You know what I mean? Truth is never favored. What up, baby?
Good to see you, brother. As always.
Man, thank you for coming in, man. We appreciate you, man. Much love.
Yes, sir.
And I call him the listen, this man is a genius, all right? He is a genius of YouTube. Yeah, I may not know it, but he definitely is. Okay. The man's mental, his emotional, spiritual on a different level. You know what I mean? And on the mic, ain't really too many people can mess with him on the mic. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. Gotta bring in the brother, Arshawn Dave. What's up, man?
Hey everybody, hello. And this just from Mr. Best Intellectual Soapbox.
He's knocking him out, y'all. He's knocking him out. And his content knocking him out too, y'all. Trust and believe. You know what I'm saying? And besides all this great men, we have to have a lady. We have to have a lady, right? It's only right. Gotta bring in, you know what I mean, one of our great queens, one of our phenomenal ladies. We definitely have a lot of love for her. Gotta bring in Conversations herself, QB. Hey, sister.
Hey, y'all. Hope everyone is doing well.
Hey, okay, family, okay. Let me bring y'all all in. Let's do a family style. You know what I'm saying? And listen, you know what I mean? We have to acknowledge the people that's showing us love. You know what I mean? Lady Sophia. Hey, Lady Sophia. What's going on? She said, Intellectual Soapbox salutes her. Feed us some knowledge. Look, I'm going to try, okay? You know what I mean? I'm gonna definitely try to provide you with some content, and at least you'll be entertained. I will tell you that for the least part, you'll be entertained, okay? And I'm going to drop the StreamYard in the chat very soon, okay? I'm gonna drop that very soon. She also says salute to the chat. She sends some more salutations and love. Arshawn Dave says, Lady Sophia. She says hello to her. She says, Arshawn Dave, my young lord, salute to you. Aw. You know what I mean? She stole my thunder. Hello. You know what I mean? Into she stole my thunder. Hey. She says, I'm gonna try to do how M3 does it, but I don't know if I can. Hello, everyone. Just hide in the bushes looking for any leftover Easter chocolate that was forgotten.
Hey, wait, if you don't mind me doing.
Everybody saying hello to everybody. You know what I mean? She stole my thunder saying hello, Lady Sophia. Okay. So Lady Sophia says, truth is never favored. Salute,
Good
sir.
evening.
All right, all right.
That's my sister right there. Good evening, sis. Yes, it is.
Definitely. She Stole My Thunder says, oh, so Lady Sophia's replying to She Stole My Thunder. She says, tired, but ready to learn. And we have another lady in the building, Lady Andrea. Salute to you, sister. It's all high air. She says hello. You know what I mean? Okay, Lady Sophia says QB. Hello, beautiful sister. She's sending her love to her. All right. She Stole My Thunder says, LOL, gotta have the special effects. LOL. Yeah, we gotta have the special effects. M3's not here. He's not here right now, okay? He's not here right now. You know what I mean? But I am here, you know what I'm saying? And speaking of being here, you know what I mean? Let me drop that fair use banner because we really gonna get into this. All right. So this show is gonna be about vices, guys, all right? Vices and how do you handle them? Okay? All right, so we're gonna watch this video uninterrupted. We ain't gonna say nothing, we're just gonna watch and we're gonna learn. All right. Let me get the video prepped up for y'all.
Hey, my brother, what is the if I look on YouTube, what are y'all in? Because I'm looking at knowledge and relationships, but I don't see the video.
No, this is intellectual soul bar. This is my stream.
Oh, okay.
You
So
know
it's okay, bet.
knowledge and relationship is also mine too, but you know what I'm saying? That's our group thing. That's our group thing.
Got you.
You know
Got
what I
you.
mean?
I feel you.
But yeah, y'all, let me drop this video real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let me go to the screen share. Let me see. Hold on, y'all.
Absolutely. It's a drug.
Right.
Sugar
is a drug.
Sugar. My mom's is addicted to sugar.
Sugar's a drug.
I'm addicted. We all abuse or are addicted to certain things. You got people addicted to making money. And it obsesses them. That's a drug.
Right. Fame is a drug.
Fame is a drug. Porn is a drug.
Absolutely.
It's a drug.
Porn is a drug. Sugar is a drug.
Sugar. My mom's is addicted to sugar.
Sugar's a drug.
I'm addicted to porn. I stopped, but there's times I go crazy with it. So
what's going crazy with it?
Watch it. Like me, if I watch more than 20 minutes, it feels like I watched for the whole day.
He's a content nigga.
I watched a whole day
of porn.
It's a whole day of porn.
Word?
Yeah,
I never did that.
Porn is really bad.
I can get.
I never did a whole day of porn.
Nigga, I put laptops on bitches' backs.
Oh yeah, well.
Pornhub.
Let's go.
Don't move.
Don't move. Don't move.
Because otherwise it just wasn't happening.
Yeah.
So you want to know where to invest $1,000 right now? Well, forget about stocks, real estate, or even crypto.
Yeah.
An unfortunate thing. Porn definitely is that's just like the marijuana. It's the tool of the devil.
Yeah.
You know?
Speed. There's some people that drive fast. Like, so, and they abuse, like,
damn, he's describing all my shit right now.
I'm into all that shit. That's why I know.
Pedal to the metal. We doing a 130 or not?
So I think life is about that healthy moderation.
But I could say for me, it was there were things that I did early on in my life that got me addicted to adrenaline. And that was the scary part. Robbing people, just the whole planning and pulling shit off and doing that shit on a consistent basis. After a while, it was like life was dull if I wasn't doing something like that. Like, I didn't feel nothing. The only time I felt something was in those moments. So I would constantly be chasing that feeling because when you do shit like that, the next day, it's like your eyes is different.
Mm-hmm.
You can see through everybody. Somebody will be talking to you and you'll just see through their whole shit.
Why? Because of the dirt you did the night before?
It's like the adrenaline made you different.
Give you clarity.
It gave you clarity, bro, because you're mastering fear gives you adrenaline. Mastering fear. Why do you think people jump out of planes?
Hold on. I'm putting that on my post. Mastering
fear gives you adrenaline. So when you put yourself in scary situations,
I need that.
And you handle that shit, it's addictive. It's addictive, bro.
It's a fine line because you don't want to lose yourself. And what I'm gonna say is, I had a job when I was like 17, 18, working at the Port Authority. We was doing the most criminal shit in there. We took everybody's shit, robbed them in their face. Them Harlem niggas knew how to rob. They would flash you with it, whatever. So to go with the parallel, what you saying, you started looking at shit like,
you sizing everything up.
And then what started happening, my family members is like, yo,
I don't feel comfortable around you.
This guy losing himself.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I'm me.
That's how it would be for me. I'd be at my cousin's birthday party and I see a nigga shining.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna rob.
Yeah. And everybody knew what time I was on.
And they'd be like, yo, Math, chill. Like, this is my people.
No, relax. I'm gonna make this happen. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. And that adrenaline.
I know dudes is like that.
Addictive, man. Mm-hmm. So when I wasn't doing that no more, I had to find other things to make me feel alive because I felt dead.
And what did you find?
Sex.
Sex is definitely a big adrenaline.
Drugs.
Yeah. Other drugs? What other drugs?
Like cocaine.
What? Okay.
Cocaine was
I never fucked with cocaine. The furthest left I went was ecstasy. I loved fucking with bitches on ecstasy.
Because you're wild the fuck
Your
out.
ghost is like the same shit.
It's the same as coke.
All the inhibitions was removed.
No. Ecstasy is, pardon my French, is the most beautifulest drug ever. Ecstasy, MDMA, oh my God. When you with a woman, you look in her face, you really believe you love her. You in love.
In those moments.
In that moment, for that 24 joints that you with her, you are in love for real. And it's some of the most euphoric sex you ever gonna have in your life.
I dated a woman that was half German, half Nigerian.
Ooh. Where'd you meet her at?
An open mic.
She did drugs too?
Yes. She introduced me to cocaine.
Word.
And every weekend we would get together, we would have a party, and we would probably have sex for like 6 hours.
Off cocaine. But the white boys that I went to Colombia with told me cocaine
mess with your joint, but there's ways to get around that.
Okay.
So once I figured out those ways,
okay, right,
it was on, and this was a every weekend thing. Every week.
How you get around it for people who don't know?
Blue pill, of course.
Okay.
You
wasn't ever nervous?
And you'll see it in movies, like certain movies.
But you wasn't.
You'll see like a dude, he'll do a line and then
pop a pill, but you
wasn't scared about mixing it wrong? Because one time I mixed it wrong, and the bitch was like, "You good, nigga?" I'm like, "Bitch, order some food now." Sometimes if you combine shits a certain way, like it felt like my chest was ready to go, and I never felt
your
that
chest
before.
was beating on it, but no.
Yeah, and it was
I
just
was scared.
For me, my nigga, it was just adventure time. I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do tonight? Okay, you know what? Here, hang half of your body outside the window, and I'ma smash, and she be out the window with her joints flapping.
I was always scared of cocaine. Cocaine was one of them drugs that snorting it. Like, I'm not a dude that fuck with no needles. I'm not on that type of time. So you ain't got to worry about me. a half a pill of X or even a piece of it, not even a half a pill, a piece of it, and some Patron and weed, I'm on top of the world.
That
right
Patron
there.
and Bud
Yeah.
combo.
You know what I'm saying? The Patron and Bud combo is that's my specialty now. Like Patron, I mean champagne and Bud. You know what I'm saying? Some tequila and Bud. But when I was younger, yeah, a piece of that X pill and that Bud and that Patron, I'm up on a Tuesday.
I've always said women
It's
that
going
drink the
down.
clear, especially that tequila, they pussy always seem to be the wettest and the bestest. When they on that dark liquor, unless it's the high
Yeah,
end
dry
dark,
them up a little
they
bit.
dry them up. And thank you.
I never fucked with bitches that drink dark liquor. Dark liquor bitches ain't my style.
Yeah, that dark, it dry their pussy up, yo.
Nah,
Yeah,
I don't fuck with
like that
Hennessy
shit.
drinking bitches.
Listen.
If you drink dark, you already was on the outs with me.
Hennessy ain't never been a problem for me. Hennessy ain't never been
You
a
like
problem for me.
that dirty Henny
However,
pussy?
Absolute. Syrah, bro.
Yeah.
You want to see me do the wildest shit you ever seen in life? Give me that shit. Give me that shit. Shout out to my man Gab Murder. Gab Murder will tell you. Gab Murder will tell you.
That's a good nigga.
Shout out to my
Murder will
man.
tell you.
Shout out to my man DJ Clue, who in front of this man says, I fuck with Esso, but I don't fuck with him on champagne.
Yo, listen to
He
this.
said, I don't like that nigga on champagne. Because I'm
There are two types of lizard or reptilian kind.
lady on
No,
champagne.
listen to this story. I'm gonna take pieces out to protect people. We was in town from Deontay Wilder's private party. There's only 30 people in there. His family's in there, whatever. This dude brings one of his side joints, right?
Yeah.
She with the shits.
She from Harlem. She from Harlem.
So now,
Bad dark-skinned bitch from Harlem. Bad.
Math and Biggie, you know, when you in that type of environment and the bread is coming in, everything's endless. It's endless food, endless liquor.
Right.
So now Shorty ain't used to it. He's like, you good, Shorty? You want some? Give her more champagne. So Clue's over there, right, looking. He see this nigga getting turned up. He's like, yo, this is what I do, bitch. She's like,
I said, can I call you?
He's like, yo, pardon me. I'm sorry. Can I call you a bitch, though? But listen, bitch, give her more champagne. So, yo, Clue is like this.
He stands up, like, cause he not with the person he's with now, so he got a table full of girls at this time. So he's looking at me like, yo, is everything all right? I said, yeah, everything is good. Just send me some more fucking bottles of champagne. Everything is lit.
He's like, you good though, bitch?
Yeah. I said, I can call you bitch, right? She's like, yeah, so yeah.
And then when she said, yeah, he's like, okay, so then, bitch, give her more champagne.
Get this bitch some more champagne, yo.
No.
Clue, send me more fucking
But
champagne.
here's the downside to that.
Yeah, that shit.
How many times have you woken up the next day and be like, what the fuck did I do?
Yo, bro.
Twice in my life.
No, Matt, I just went out with my wife 2 days ago because I haven't drank. Okay, because I've been on some, I'm not drinking. I want to drop this stomach. Niggas about to be on TV. I don't know that. But I got to get my sexy right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm on my juice diet, which I told y'all we juicing. We go out. I go a spot in Harlem. We go have some martinis. I just want to go walk around uptown. Let's go eat. Let's go do this. We come back. We do our grown folks thing the next day. She hollered at me about, you remember so-and-so when I talked to you and this happened, you was talking crazy last night. And I was like, I don't remember shit.
None of that.
And she was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, that's why I only drink champagne now. I can remember everything that goes on. When you bring the hard liquor in, the tequila, the gin, the vodka, anything's liable to happen. No, if I drink one or two, nah. I'm not a 1 or 2 drink nigga. He know that. I drink 2-3 bottles of champagne. If I'm drinking martinis, I'm drinking 6, 7, 8 martinis. Easy, light. And I'm going home talking crazy and I'm calling my wife like, yo, what's up? I'm coming with the thunder. What's up? all this wild shit. She on the phone like, yo, bitch, you in trouble. I'm on my way. Warm my shit up. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down.
My nigga,
Right.
You know what I mean? And I be fucking going there like she's a stripper or a slut. I don't know.
Right.
And the next morning she be like, yo, you was crazy last night. Yo, you need a award, a medal. Word?
You're
I
like,
don't remember
word?
shit.
I don't remember nothing.
Not one thing. Yo, you remember me talking to you about my mom that she need to move and we need to give her money and all this?
None of
I'm
that.
glad you reminded me, bitch, because if I would have looked at my credit card and saw all this was going down, I would have been upset because I don't remember one damn
Nothing.
thing that was going on.
But it's dangerous.
Mm.
And I do believe that every substance is here with its purpose, a medicinal purpose. But when we abuse it, you find yourself in dark places. Like those weekends, as much fun as I had, it was misleading for me in life. I was ducking a lot of things that I should have been dealing with, and I was using that shit to cover it up. I was using that shit to try to find some sort of joy. And anybody will tell you, that anybody that abuses anything, you start chasing that feeling. And you can't find that until like you really get your shit together. There's days that I have great days with the show, whatever. I feel like same high. I feel like same, I'm good without it. And there's clarity. I remember it in the morning. But during those times, anything could have transpired.
But
That's dangerous.
But they were great times, wasn't they?
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it, but I know better
They
than
were
that,
some
though.
tremendous. I might not do it again, but Jesus, when you think about some of those times, though,
Like what times are you talking about?
the euphoric times, the
Right.
time when you say that, yeah, you was up. There was times when I'm using E and smoking weed and doing my drinking and partying, whatever we doing. Those acts that happen, not even, and the sex was the culmination, but something about that time, the feeling.
You have no inhibitions.
It was unfucking believable. I tell everybody, say I'm straight up with my little cousins. He'll tell you, my cousin, shout out to Bam. Bam is my son, my cousin, my best friend, my nephew. You know what I'm saying? Everything all rolled up in one. Shout out to Bam. I tell Bam, yo, listen, he smokes weed now. I told him before then, don't smoke weed. Because when you start, you ain't gonna stop. It's like what we talked about with Bigger. Like, once you start smoking weed, you're not taking a 90-day break, bro. Unless you're going to jail, unless you gotta get a job and all fails you and you working some bullshit that you don't want to work, right? But I tell them don't use E and fuck with no broads. Because it's a different thing. And I'm not saying it to you to do it. You know how people say it because he's close to me. I'm saying it to you to be real. Like, don't fuck with it because it took a lot for me to stop fucking with that shit.
I have a challenge for all of you. Go to every computer in your house, your mom's, your dad's, your sister, your brother's computer.
You know what I'm saying? And like Ghost said, it's a real drug. I didn't look at it like a real drug. I didn't. I looked at it like, oh, this is cosmetic. This got a little coke in, a little dope in it, whatever, but it's in a pill. How bad could it be? I'm not snorting. I'm not shooting it up. It's in a pill.
Smooth.
What are we talking about? When I wake up the next day, I shit a couple times and I'm back to normal. Yeah, niggas on Percocet. It's what I'm saying.
But here be the thing though. Some of these, just like back in the days, all the old school shooters, they had to get high. They would get high they go handle their business or whatever. A lot of these motherfuckers was on drugs when that shit happened.
When they caught a body.
Now, for the niggas that got caught when they sobered up and they realized what happened,
they were remorseful.
That's going to become, because when you're in a sober mind, you will be closer to God, basically. You will be closer to how He wants you. And the scripture speaks about your enemy, and it speaks about the reason why God wants you to remain sober is because you have an enemy, and your enemy don't get high, and your enemy 24 hours of your life is looking to kill you and destroy you. So the moment that we're
smoking weed, inebriated, they get the upper hand on us.
Got the upper hand.
Right. And yo, that's real shit.
I remember I got wasted on Henny, and I was in Toronto, and I was just a different person. I remember walking to the club, and dude was trying to check. I had a fake ID. You know how Canada is. And he looked at me. I was like, oh, fuck. And then they just let me in the club, man. Gave me full VIP. They thought I was a detective and shit. I'm just wilding, getting everything for free, wilding, tossing liquor at bitches and having them strip around, lift their skirt up. And I'm like, you just doing this shit off a Henny. I'm just like, this ain't who I am, though. Well, part of me is, but
Right.
But still, it's like, I'm always nervous about going somewhere else and losing my train of thought and not remembering shit. I remember even getting blitzed in Buffalo, and I lost 3 hours of my life. And my boys had to tell me, yo, you elbowed this chick and you took another girl's cowboy hat and you swung it around and slapped her in the face. I said, I didn't do all that shit. And that's just scary, because if you can't remember doing that, how fucked up can you be when somebody does something to you?
Right.
And you really can't be up. And I took an edible at a battle rap event, and even Clips had to look at me like, you're fucked up. I couldn't even lift my arm up. So anybody could take you out. And what Bigger is saying is your enemy's on call 24 hours.
24 hours of the day.
25/8. How about that?
So I think for all you people out there that's chasing that high, you can get it through achievements. You can get it through things in your life, goals, setting goals and hitting those goals and kind of relishing in that moment. Doesn't always have to be drugs. The dangerous thing about drugs is that while you're in that mind state, you're not yourself. And don't think that you are. That's not you. Find you. Stay there.
Whew.
Yeah, man.
Man. All right, y'all. Let's talk about it. As always, we are respectable here on Intellectual Soapbox. So, ladies first. Miss QB.
Wow. Okay.
What did you think about all that? Vices. How do you handle them? Do you have vices? Like, have you gone through that? Like, talk to us.
Not to that extreme. Let somebody else go first. Give me just a moment, please. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Anybody else can rock out. Any of the two gentlemen can rock out. Any one of y'all.
If you want to go, you can take it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've been on this earth, and 2 more days, about to be 38 years.
Birthday, brother.
Thank you. Well, not 2 more days, 13 more days. Excuse me if I said 2 more days. But 13 more days, I'll be 38. So, people, and I'm glad you used the word vices, because another word that is congruent to that is addiction. And a lot of people like to reserve addiction or vices to only drug use, but it can be other things. It can be watching TV. It can be YouTube. It can be they even name certain things like pornography. It can be so many other things that takes on a considerable and consuming amount of time. And what it does is it becomes an enigma and becomes very distracting to you. Basically, consuming so much of your time that you can't be focused. You can't be more. I guess you would like to say fluent. It causes complacency and procrastination sometimes if you don't get these things under control. Um, you know, it can be cigarettes. It can be, they talked about the marijuana, drinking. It could be a lot of things. And again, eating. Uh, anything that has basically consumed you enough to where it has became problematic and out of control. It can be a vice, and that basically can be anything. Again, a lot of people like to, you know, justify certain things and like to, look at it. Oh, I don't have nothing wrong with me. I don't have an addiction. I don't have a vice. It's only the people that use drugs or the alcoholics or things of that sort, and people just being in denial. You feel what I'm saying? So vices, just like mental illness, is very prevalent in our community, black and white. So, and I've befallen a couple of vices. I used to, smoke weed. That didn't really turn into a vice, but drinking did.
Mm.
Sex definitely did for me. Sex consumed my life for a long period of time. Again, I didn't even know it was a vice. Um, I was so consumed, I was so blinded, and because of my past traumas from me being young all the way into adulthood, I didn't know it had became a sexual addiction and a vice. So that was my main
Mm.
vice.
Mm. Thank you for sharing that, brother.
Yes, sir.
Brother Arshawn, talk to us, baby.
Man, I wholeheartedly agree with Truth. Like the even though he didn't take it there, I'm gonna take it a little further that he
Uh-oh.
might appreciate. Like vices are akin or like they're kind of related to being an idol in your life
Mm.
because it's something that you'll put on a high pedestal, and like he said, it'll disrupt your life. You'll put it above your like I think he also said like the things that you have to take care of, your responsibilities. It'll excuse me, it'll overcome your reason. I know I struggle with it didn't even dawn on me until last year that you could even be addicted to a lot of other things. Like, of course, the things that other people do, it's easy to figure out, oh man, they're addicted to certain things. But the things that you do, you don't really think of as an addiction. It's just something you do and you can stop at any time. So my thing was sugar. Like, it's just sugar. It's just sugar. Man, I had no idea I was addicted until I tried to stop eating sugar. That's when I knew. I was like, oh, this is bad. Like, like if I don't have the sugar in the house, man, I'm thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean that's an addiction. So I'm battling that now. So I actually just had to quit going to the grocery store. Like I'm eating stuff out of the pantry to avoid going to the grocery store. Because if I go, I'm going to buy some kind of sugary stuff. So I have to, like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to take extreme measures to avoid certain things, to cut stuff off. So it's definitely things that take precedence. People that won't even show up on time to like maybe their kids recital because they have to stop for a cigarette, or you got to get that cup of coffee before you do anything. I can't do anything until I do this. Like it might be habit forming, be an addiction. If you can't get to the time, if there are certain people that you can't even have a conversation with until you do this other thing, whatever that thing is. And like Truth said, it doesn't have to be tangible. You can be addicted to something positive like working out. There have been people who have worked out until they've gotten almost died, and there are probably some that did die. You can be addicted to anything like conceptual, like even church. Like you can be in church but not be in there to get the principles. You're there for some other reason in your head. It might be to be seen, socialized, or it could be anything. You can develop an unhealthy attachment to anything in your life, a person, place, thing. So yeah, you have to be aware. Anything that you cannot sit aside and just walk away from, you might have an unhealthy attachment to.
You know what's crazy, Sean? I always say a dangerous combination. I ain't trying to be vulgar, man, but a dangerous combination. Two of the most dangerous combinations is religion and sex. You know, or sometimes if I'm just being hood, I'll say religion and coochie, but that's another situation. But when you when you have combinations such as this, man, it can really throw you. It can really throw you. And the most littlest things, you're like, oh no, ain't nothing, man. I can shake that off. And then when you try to shake it, you're like, ooh, this got a hold of me. You know what I mean? Lord help me, help me, please. Let me not be rude. Lady QB, go ahead and rock out. I'm sorry. Let me stop talking. I'll talk after.
Okay, y'all ready for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all ready for me? Okay. All right. So vices, not to try not to repeat everything everyone said, but for me, it was something that I became addicted to. For me, early in life, in my 20s, it was sex. And I used it as an excuse of dealing with my daddy issues and family issues. And, my family life was not the greatest. I lost my mom at 17, and I was just ready to get away from home, from my cousins and aunties. And anyway, that's a whole other story that I talk about on my podcast. But anyway, so yeah, I turned to sex. And at one point, it was very emotionless. It was very unattached. And I tried to justify, as everyone has said, justify and excuse why I was doing what I was doing. And the sad part about it all was that it was usually a guy who was not available. And most of the time I knew he wasn't available, but I didn't care. So I went through that phase of my life. And then I finally got into a place that, okay, God, I'm ready to be married. You're not going to bless me in all my mess. So I started cleaning my spiritual house, and I started cleaning my physical house. And I started meditating and praying for what I wanted. I wrote a list of the qualities I wanted in a husband, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, got married, but some behavior still crept up. So then it turned to being unproductive, knowing I had things to do. I got sick after I got married. And so I let my illness, through the aspects of my illness, and I'm not going to say sick, like it wasn't cancer or anything like that, but it still affected my life drastically. And it still has a chokehold on my life today. But I still get up and do what I need to do sometimes. So during that 28 to 30, whatever age period, I let my illness, get the best of me. And I justified my lack of being productive for, okay, well, I got this going on. Anywho, so yeah, here I am, well over 40. And there are days I find myself using sleep as a vice. I get into these emotional deserts, as I call them. And it's like, I don't want to do anything today. I'm not going to do anything. So I'm just going to sleep. I turn the TV off. I turn the phone over. And just like, I give into it, knowing I could be very productive. God has given me so many ideas and visions. And what am I doing? Literally, physically sleeping on them. So yeah, those are some of my vices. And I'm praying and working hard every day. So, okay, God, I may be physically unable to do the things that I want or I think I want to do, but I'm still very capable of doing many things that has the possibility to make me a millionaire. But I'm sleeping on them, so yeah. That's it, Mr. Best.
I love how he said in the video when he said, he was like, the vices are not you. You're not you when you are in that ordeal. And thank you for sharing. You know what I mean, sister. Really appreciate it. Thank you all for y'all sharing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I think when it comes to vices, whew, it can be tricky. It can be tricky. It can be tricky. It can be tricky. Um, but I think that we just have to be clear minded. We have to be level headed. We have to understand that at times we're gonna go through things. At times, we're going to feel things, or you know what I mean. Sometimes things can attach to us, and we don't really understand why. We're like, man, why am I doing this? Like, but then once we do our research, you know what I'm saying, which is really important. Do your research, people, because sometimes there could be stuff in your family tree that's really, really, really affecting you, and you have no idea. You know what I'm saying? You have no idea. You just thinking that, oh, I'm just wilding. Like, no, man, like you're not just wilding. Like, if this family member struggle with that family member struggle with this, and now there's a pattern, right? There's a pattern that has developed. I mean, it's a part of your makeup, it's a part of your DNA, it's a part of your chemistry, right? So now you're seeing these behaviors manifest, and also it could be, family history, but also your environment, who you're around, people that you hang around, people you associate with. If you are hanging around these people and they are displaying these behaviors, and now you adopt it, and now you're fighting to get rid of those behaviors, you know what I'm saying? Now you see the reasons why. So sometimes in order to get away from these vices or things, sometimes we got to strip away people, places, things, and different habits, because if not, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad for you. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be like, damn, like I ain't even want things to be this way. Like, how did I allow this to happen? Like, how did I slope so far down? You know what I'm saying? And then when you're looking, you're like, oh, that's why. Like, okay, you know what I mean? And then also when we gravitate towards certain things, sometimes we're doing that to run away from our pains, run away from things that are really really bothering us, run away from things that we really don't want to talk or think about. You know what I mean? So like Sean was saying, we gotta have that cup of coffee, or we gotta have this, we gotta have that. But we doing that because in a moment there's other things that's pressing that we don't want to deal with. You know what I mean? So we use those vices to suppress, right? It's a suppressant. So I'm gonna use this vice. It's gonna suppress this, and I'm gonna feel all better, right? But it's like it's only momentary, because now once that high is gone, now life creeps back on you, and when life creeps back on you, what you gonna do? You know what I mean? How you gonna handle it? You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Unicorn. Hey sister, what's going on? Good to see you. Let me say hey to Soapbox fam. Hello to you too. So yeah, so that's really really big, yo. That's really big when it comes to vices. So my question is now, is our vices who we are, or what I mean, is it just a behavior that we adopted? You know what I'm saying? You know, is it really who we are? Is this really a vice, or this is just what we want to do? You know what I'm saying? Is it just us? Like, that's my question. What y'all thinking?
Well, I feel like it's a part of us because each one of us could have chose something different. Like I could have chosen to do drugs. Drugs was never on my radar. I didn't smoke marijuana until I was 21 because it just never fazed me. Popping pills. I mean, now I take a muscle relaxer, but anyway, like cocaine and ecstasy, things of that nature, crack. It never fazed me and never attracted me. Now, yes, I drink. I like me some tequila and some margaritas and some wine, but I don't do it. Well, I can't do it now because of where I am, but um, I don't do it in excess. Um, so I could have chosen anything else besides sex or sleeping or being falling into depressive states. So I think it's part of who we are, and it's something because of my faith and my belief system. I feel that it's something God knew that we would struggle with. But the Bible talks about there's always an escape from sin. And I know some people might try to say, oh, it's not sin. It's however you look at it. Anything that takes you away from doing what you know you're supposed to be doing. I could be reading my Bible instead of sleep. I could be doing praise and worship. I could be writing in my journal. I could be doing anything else but sleeping or but eating. Someone mentioned sugar. Yes. And especially in the Black culture, We feel like we got to have dessert after every meal. Like it's just something ingrained in us. We feel like we have to have bread with every meal. Like even if I have pasta, I need some garlic bread, or I feel like I need, So it's those little things. It's what I call your comfort, your blanket. What do you call it? Okay, and like what's Charlie Brown, the little boy that
Security
carries
blanket.
Oh, Linus,
security
Linus.
blanket. Yes. So I feel like our vices at times are like our security blankets. It's something that we can hold on to. They give us the temporary satisfaction.
That's an amazing analogy, QB. I didn't want to cut you off, but that right there, like Linus blanket, people don't even know that just went over a lot of people's head. Go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead. I'm done.
No, I just wanted to buffer that Linus blanket. That was beautiful.
Well, elaborate on. Go ahead, or Arshawn, elaborate on that.
You got the truth, or you want me to go ahead?
No, go ahead, because that's what I was saying. It was beautiful.
Yeah, that was genius, because that is like, to answer the specific question, intellectual soapbox. No, that's not us, but it's attached to us like the security blanket because of a part of us. There's an aspect of us that whatever that thing is, it comforts, and it gives us some kind of sense of security, or it lulls us to sleep. It's a sedative. It soothes us. There's something like QB. That was a great analogy. A security blanket, because there's something in that makes you either like even if it, like when I said the cup of coffee, some people feel vulnerable until they've had their morning cup of coffee, and then they're like, now I'm ready to take on the world. Like they're getting confidence from it. Like, so that thing becomes more than what it is. Like, okay, so like that's why it's a security blanket. It's just a blanket, but you derive a sense of security from it. So anything it is, any vice, you get something more than the substance of what it is itself. So I really like what QB said, because that really was insightful, because that's exactly what it, even the stuff I'm thinking about, like, man, most of the time it gives you some other sense. It fills some other void that you may not have done the work to find out where the void is. So like maybe me with sugar, like I'm low energy, and that sugar, it bounces me up. You know what I'm saying? So it fills that void of feeling like, man, I'm lethargic, man. I'm low energy. I'm just like I think QB said, I just want to lay here. But you get that sugar, man, you ready to, you know what I'm saying? It could be any stimulant. It could be the coffee, it could be the sugar, anything that gets you up and going. You can start to rely on that instead of manufacturing it yourself. And that's a sense of security. It can give you confidence. It can give you comfort. It can be any of those things. But yeah, that was brilliant. The security blanket, that was a good one.
Yeah, and
Mr. Truth, I have a question after you all speak.
Okay. So no, I just wanted to say usually these vices come from when trauma has not been dealt with, and a lot of us don't even know where the trauma at. It's so hidden. A lot of us have what's called repressed memories. Um, which means until certain things happen, then you'll remember a memory that you probably forgot a long time ago, and then you'll actually sit there and then revisit the memory and everything. And you be like, oh wow, and then it will make you feel a certain type of way, and that's a trauma that you have not dealt with. And a lot of times, like how Big Homie said, you would now look for an outside source for that comfort now, and that's usually when you start depending on your vice. And just like Queen B eloquently said, that's when things start turning to what is called covetousness, idolatry, which is, those who are in the faith, it's a sin because our comfort is supposed to be in Christ. That's what we're supposed to be dependent upon, and go to Him, and He's supposed to be able to fill that void when we're lacking in all things. That's why Philippians 4:13 says, "In all things, excuse me, in all I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me." So that is supposed to in turn mean, wherever I lack, He is my strength. Where I fall short, He shall, take over, my shortcomings and everything. And that's how, again, for those of us in the faith, this is how we look at our relationship with God through Jesus Christ. He is our Father. He is our Savior. He is our best friend. He is our strong tower. He is our everything. So for us, that's when things become very problematic because then we start to notice, like, hold up, you know, I'm not fulfilling that number one commandment now. Yep.
QB, go ahead with your question, if you would like.
Okay. So this is just to kind of bring the discussion of what everyone has stated so far kind of together. We talk about how we relied on certain things to comfort
Vices.
us. And so how many times though have we done the work
Like bad habits.
to find natural solutions? You or Sean talked about, sugar gives him a rush. Well, so does B12, and so do other natural roots and herbs. And so it's like we don't want to. We often, and then Mr. Truth mentioned about um, going to therapy, dealing with those unhealed traumas, and it's like we don't want to do the shadow work. It's that shadowy part of us, of our mind, of our spirit, that is just lingering. And it's like it's never going away until you deal with it. So either you're going to bring it out the shadows, and you're going to hold its hand, you're going to face it and deal with it, or you're going to be forever be in bondage to that vice that you have taken hold of, or allowed to take hold of you, rather. There are many other natural ways that are not harmful and invasive to your mind, body, and soul, like your physical mind, body, and soul as well.
So QB, did you have a question for Truth?
Well, basically, my question was about the natural. It's not for just Truth, but it was just basically a question comment about how many times, I don't want to say rhetorical question. How many times do we seek out natural remedies to override the unhealthy vices that we choose to adopt and attach or let? Okay, it becomes like a parasite that has developed a symbiotic relationship with us. I watch a lot of Stargate SG-1 and stuff like that. So
Oh
in
wow, okay.
the show, certain creatures or beings or whatever, they have these things that they call them symbiosis or something, but it basically creates a symbiotic relationship where that thing
Like
needs
Venom.
that host to survive. And
I
that
was just about to
host,
say that, just like Venom. Excuse me, Queen Bee. I was about to say
no,
that's exactly that.
go
Yep.
ahead. So it's like it almost gets to a point of we don't deal with it. Like the gentleman mentioned about their drug use, it becomes so attached to you. You are now dependent on that vice for your survival. I mean, sometimes literally until you deal with it. Anyway, go ahead, True.
Yeah, I mean, and see, that's when, see, it's certain things that, and this is why, we have to be careful because unless you're actually on that side of the world, this is why it's best not to judge people because you never know until you actually in that situation. And that's one thing that I was thankful for, like, a lot of things I've went through because I was able to be on the empathetic side for other people, for those who say, you don't understand what I'm going through and things like that. And well, I can actually come to them and say, brother, sister, I actually do know, here's what happened to me in reference to this, and that and this and so forth. And I thank God that I have endured some of the worst things that have been known, to humanity. I've told people, I used to be the sinner of all sinners. And, it's not too much things that I haven't done wrong, right, wrong, or indifferent. The only thing that I have not done, and thank God that I haven't, had this corrupted mindset where the devil has taken over. And that's for, situations where pedo or grape. You see what I'm saying? And thank God every day that I never struggled with those type of things, and my mind and my heart was never corrupted to go that far. Um, but in spite of that, for those of us again in the faith, we know no sin is greater than the next, and that's why I don't look at myself, no differently than when I sin than another person sin. And that's why too much in this space is that I don't judge people. When people be like, "How can you, be around that individual?" And then I look at them and be
Mm,
like, "Do you see the stuff that you're doing?" And then
mm,
also, I look at myself when I be in my mess, and like I have no room. You see what I'm saying? Even though I might not go the route that they're going, that still doesn't mean that, when I fall short, it's better than when they fall short. You feel what I'm saying? And I use that example as in when we're dealing with vices, people go through different things. Sean was talking about sugar. Sugar is just as deadly as, drugs, and then vice versa. So, and that's something that, I had a problem with sugar and things like that, and not drinking enough water and things like that, and you know, people wouldn't even think of that. Like, hold up, you don't drink enough water. What that got to do with using drugs? Well, if you don't consume enough water, it's affecting your body. Drugs are so harmful because it affects your kidneys. What does water do? You don't consume enough water, you can actually go into kidney failure. It has happened, even to people that didn't use drugs. You see what I'm saying? So we all got to be mindful of our health, and that's when devices become very, traumatizing and, like she said, life threatening. Um, Certain things become where certain people use drugs over time. It can not only become addictive, but for those of us who have actually had to use, because oxycodone and certain pain medicine and things that you get for prescription, those are actual drugs. They come from a plant called opioids, and opioids is another is the main ingredient in heroin. You see what I'm saying? So people don't understand that, and then people that take pain pills for a long period of time, they don't mean to, but it's not that they are getting addicted, but it's a thing called tolerance and dependency. So your body gets used to taking something, even if you take a medication like using for diabetes and things like that, your body can become dependent upon it. So if you try to stop it abruptly, there are things with all medications with side effects and withdrawals. These things happen. So that's why I said things are a lot more common. And then that's why we got to be careful and be mindful of us in all aspects of life to watch out for vices.
thank you, brother. Thank you. Sean, you have something you would like to say?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everybody's making some really strong points, and I really appreciate hearing them. I'm glad I'm here. QB said, you can something about the vice because you can like depend on it. But you had asked the question earlier, is it you? And I wanted to touch on that because I didn't really get to that well. I just said no. But you can start to rely on a vice so much, and you that you become known for that vice. Like people will call somebody a wino, you know what I'm saying, or a drunk. Like you can start to take on labels because of your association with that vice. So people can start to identify you, and you can start to identify yourself where you start to take on affiliation with that type of a vice. Like you ain't gonna never see me without a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always something, or there are types of things that people do that where they start to take on that identity of whatever it is that they're dependent upon. So that's one thing. But I really wanted to co-sign truth because I was going to bring up the word too, dependency. And the way to remove a dependency is to become independent of the thing. So doing the work, like I see people in the chat have said, I think it was a unicorn word, to not rely on that crutch or that quick fix to cope or deal with your feelings or your thoughts or your own behaviors is really important, because a lot of those feelings are normal feelings. Like QB said, I'm feeling a little down just in my body. I just don't feel energetic. I did have to start taking B12 vitamins, because it really does do the trick. I mean, it snapped me up in like 10, 15. I didn't even notice it. You know, like with sugar, you know, you have to ingest something. But with the B12, I didn't even notice it. I take a couple of the B12 pills if I need to wake up. Next thing I know, I'm grooving, I'm working, I'm doing whatever I need to do, and I'm not even thinking about it, and I don't have that sugar crash either. So I mean, so there are replacements. That's something we have to talk about, because what we're using shoddy tools to cope with something. We have work to be done, and then like it may be just as simple as dealing with our feelings. That's a task. We have to do with our feelings. It's scary, like a unicorn said, a unicorn word. It's scary to do, and it's hard to do, to cope with our feelings and our thoughts. But we have to do it. So we use something like cheap and easy to do it. So like with the sugar, it's cheap and easy to get a boost of adrenaline through a Monster Energy drink or something like that. But we may not know. I think Q said it, and some probably Unicorn Word dropping gems in the chat. We're not always aware of replacements. I didn't know B12 was an energy supplement until recently, within the last year or so. And a lot of this stuff is the way we eat. We're not taught healthy ways of living, because I could have been getting B12 and not had a energy deficiency all my life if I knew the proper foods to eat and the proper ways to prepare them. So a lot of this, I know Truth will appreciate this. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. So a lot of the things that trip us up are things we just don't know any better. And if we do know better, we're afraid to try. So there's so many barriers to getting it. Once you get over the ignorance, then you still have to deal with your fear. And then even after you deal with the fear, you have to deal with the repetition, because once you get over it once, you got to do it again. Like again, going back to the Bible, because I borrow from that a lot. You got to die daily. You have to kill that part of yourself that wants to dive into the easy way every single day. Like an addict, they say you're always an addict, but you're just one day at a time. It's the same thing with any addiction. You got to fight that monkey off your back every single day, multiple times a day. But yeah, man, y'all was hitting some points, man. I just wanted to jump back in, man.
Oh, most definitely, brother. Most definitely. Anybody got something to say?
Not actually. I think we crushed it. He closed it all out, especially using that word. You know I love that.
Man. Hey, quiet with the background noise, all right? People in the house making background noise. Miss QB, anything you want to say?
No, I think again we wrapped up the conversation. Everyone has said, pretty much similar things, and it's an individual journey. It's an individual process. But one thing I want to say is we have to be mature enough, or we have to find ourselves in a place when we're really in that desert spot, that point of almost no return, and say, okay, I need some help. I can't do this. It's like, or our vices will take us over. They will cause our physical death along with a spiritual death. And when I say spiritual all the times, it's not just about religion. We are spiritual beings in a fleshly body. And no matter what your belief system is, we're all spiritual beings. And so if you're not connected to your spirit man, spirit woman, you will allow anything to come in and infiltrate that and take you over and knock you off your block, so to speak. That's not the word I'm looking for. But so we have to, again, do the work, be willing to face those dark, ugly, shadowy corners of our life, of our mind, of our heart, and our soul. And it's not easy. And nobody wants to do it. It's messy. But we are never going to get to a place of, I don't know, we're going to forever be struggling, climbing uphill in mud if we don't deal with it.
Yeah.
I think we may have a guest coming in here pretty soon.
Queen B touched on it, bro. It's not easy. People got to be very patient with themselves, and most importantly, this is the reason why I encourage a relationship with God through Jesus Christ, because With him, all things are possible, and with him, life becomes so simplified, and it's definitely power there. It's actual power. I know it's hard for people to understand because it's only understanding through experience. I can't really put a finger, put an explanation. I just know it's beautiful. I'm grateful every day. I'm thankful. I feel whole. I feel peaceful. I feel like I am a conqueror with anything that I set out to do that today, and any day that I've been waking up since I've been adopted into the kingdom. I've been powerful. That's why I speak the way I speak. I speak with authority. I'm assertive. I'm direct and things like that. I speak confidently, and that's because I'm confident in who I serve. I tell people all the time, there's nothing special about me other than Jesus. That's it. But that's where my power comes from. Right. That's that's why I'm confident. That's why I'm confident in who I am, and I believe that my day will be successful. I believe that today I will be, a great man. I will be better than I was yesterday. I will go out here and actually be a servant to others and everything like that. And you need strength. It's a lot of us, like she said, in the dark corners of our minds, our hearts, our fears, our troubles, our vices. Again, we be needing help. And there's one person out the person that's always there and that's waiting for you to reach out for us and say, help me. And that's Jesus.
We got a guest that just came in. We got to give a shout out to her. She's definitely not a relationship, intellectual soapbox family. Got to give it up for Queen Forever. 2K. Hey, Queen, what's going on?
What's up, people?
My main sister.
All hail the Queen.
My main sister.
Stop slipping in people's DMs. Can I get your address?
Yo, stop telling this man business, yo, or supposed business. All right? Nobody said anybody was doing that, all right? Trying to expose somebody. Look at us. What have you been doing? You know what I mean? Worry about that.
I know, right?
You know what I mean? Worry about that kitchen, all right? Worry about that kitchen, all right? That's all
She
I'm
acting like
saying.
she a flower on my wall.
Yeah.
Hey.
Exactly.
What's up, Marcellin? What you drinking?
Oh Lord.
This little hard seltzer. Seltzer.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Trying to cut that sugar out. That sugar out.
Okay, make sure you ain't driving later.
No, I'm at the house.
Okay. Hey, QB, how you doing?
I am wonderful, my queen sister. Queen, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm just trying to enjoy my day off.
Yeah.
Trying to enjoy a sister day off.
Okay, all right, Queen. So Queen, what do you think about the conversation so far about vices, about bad habits? And we're gonna end it on a good note because we're about to close pretty soon. But what do you think about like vices or like bad habits that people may have or may struggle with?
I just say as long as it's not harming you or others, we all gonna have bad habits. Nobody's perfect because they lying. But I think as long as it's not causing any danger or self-harm or harmful for others. My bad habit is I love me some gummy bears and gummy worms, and man,
yeah, you do.
The person I'm with, they always find them. But, I love me my snacks, but yeah. So I just think as long as it's not harming you, and I think people got to be honest too. Because some people act like they can handle things and they really can't, so.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you. Well, what are some good habits, y'all? What are some things that we like to do that's great? Listen, one of my good habits is music. I listened to some D'Angelo earlier. Woo! Some D'Angelo playing. You know what I mean? Listen
That is
up.
not a good. Music is not a good
You know
habit.
what I mean? Send it back to you. You know what I mean? Listen to some D'Angelo. You know what I'm saying? What's some good habits that we have, man? You know what I mean? It could be music. It could be, reading. It could be other things. What are some good habits? You know what I'm saying? Y'all can all just chime in. I
Well,
usually
that's
go
what.
ladies first, but I'm gonna just let it be a free for all. So go ahead, y'all.
Well, that's what the actual difference is. I mean, it depends on what it is. That's why the term vice and once you have habitual tendencies. I mean, those things can be still congruent. Again, it
Mhm.
depends on how you look at it. You know, listening to music, we look at it as not a problem, but is it consuming so much of
Mm.
your time that it's distracting you from handling your priorities?
That's
That's
right.
when
Say that
now
again.
it turns into a vice. Like video games is fun, but if it's
Mhm.
consuming so much of my time that now I'm not taking care of my children, I'm calling out from work when I know daggone well I need this money. Even to the point where some people aren't eating. So bad that you so upset getting a heart attack.
Mhm.
All types of things. These
Breaking
things.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Some people take the control and throw it through the television. Fights have broken out over, losing and Madden and things like that in 2K. So that's when that's when again it goes overboard. It becomes too much. It starts consuming, it becomes, bad for your health, physically, mentally, and spiritually. So it's not the thing. The thing is just like cigarettes. Cigarette itself is not the vice, is how you are consuming it. That's the device.
Mm,
That's that's
Mm.
mm,
that's the
I'm gonna push
vice.
that.
mm. Gotta give a shout out real quick to Sister Saida. Sister Saida, good to see you. You know, what I mean? Thank you for everybody in the chat land. You know what I'm saying? Who had pushback? Was it Queen? Who had something to say? I'm listening.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Cigarettes. That's not a good example because it has it's stuff in there to make it addictive. So nobody has. I've never seen somebody that smokes cigarettes have control over it. It's a very addictive behavior or the nicotine. So that's all. You know I
All
gotta
right.
give you a hard time, True.
Uh-huh. So what I gotta need you to do,
Come
sis,
on,
is actually
talk to me.
listen. Cigarette is not the vice.
Oh, okay.
Smoking is the
Ah.
vice. The
Why you
cigarette
be
just
trying
sit.
to play games?
Ta ta
Why you trying to
ta.
play
Yes,
games?
it's the
Why you trying
words
to
are
play games,
very
True?
important, sis, and that's what I said earlier when
Mm-hmm.
I said.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so a cigarette sitting on the table that is not
You're
being
right.
smoked, there's nothing wrong
You
with it.
ain't say all that earlier.
You didn't
But I
listen
hear
to
you.
me. I did say it.
I'm
Big
good.
homie right there, he heard me. You gotta listen to me. See?
Mm.
You
I'm
so
sick.
busy trying to beat somebody over the top of the
That's right.
head.
Always. Always.
YouTube
Now,
police out here. I'm
I
telling
got
you.
my nerves back. Got my nerves back.
I ain't gonna change. Mm-hmm.
You said what's good habits? I think getting out into nature and taking a nice walk. I think sometimes we get so much in the go of things that, get in the car, hop over, go over here, go over here, go over here. We don't just take it easy and just take a nice brisk walk. So, yeah.
Okay. Who else is about to share? I'm here.
Now, if I'm asking for permission first. Can I go back a little bit into that last topic and come to this one?
Man, talk about whatever you want.
Do your thing. Come on, school us.
Now, a unicorn word, I promise you, she's just dropping so many gems in the chat that I really love it. She had said something that I don't think we mentioned too much of, but she mentioned ego. And a lot of us can't even get to this point because we can't even admit that we have a problem. And that's like one of the first steps they tell you in like recovery systems is that you have to be able to admit that you have a problem. And the ego a lot of times will prevent you from even acknowledging a problem because, again, you think you can handle it or you think you have it under control. I know we mentioned it a different way, but we don't understand that part of ourselves is we're our own worst enemy in that regard. something just to quickly like tackle and I don't know if you're gonna ask this question, so stop me if you are, Mr. Best. How do we overcome that problem? Because something has to fill that void. I know you're getting to the positive things that fill the void, but I know what helped me get rid of the negative things. I don't know if you're gonna ask that question, but something that I had to do.
Talk about it.
Okay. Well, the one thing I had to do to get over some of the stuff was to get information, like because I had to scare myself straight on a lot of things. So reading food labels and researching those ingredients that we're putting in our bodies, man, that scared me away from so many things. Because like once you find out where the stuff comes from, I mean, some of them are plants, some of them are man-made, some of them are insect pieces. I'm like, where are they getting all this stuff from? Some of them have all these side effects that they don't tell you about if you get them in certain quantities, and they don't tell you how many quantities to avoid. So it's like, my Lord. And then the other thing that helped me, the other tool, like mental tool, was they say putting lipstick on a pig. Well, I tried to have the pig without the lipstick. So I would try certain foods without any condiments, any seasonings, and at least half of my diet, I found out that I didn't even like the thing I was eating. I like the way I fixed it up. So like hamburger meat, I love hamburger. I don't like just burger meat plain unseasoned. I don't enjoy it at all. It's like a cardboard brick. I mean, it might be juicy or something, but I mean, there's no flavor to it. It was all the seasoning I was putting into it. The condiments, some mustard, some relish, man, some vegetables or whatever, the type of burger bun I wanted. So a lot of times it wasn't even the thing that we were consuming that we enjoy. It's the way we fix it up. A lot of people say the same.
Have a little fun. Just have a little fun, Archon. What was your favorite burger though?
Favorite burger? Man, my favorite burger. It's hard to say. My favorite burger was the one I made. Because I make it the way I like it. Everybody else, you may not have the bun you like, you may not have the cheese you like, but if I do it, it's the exact way I like it, the exact temperature.
One of them homegrown mama burgers with
man.
Okay,
that was the one. That was the one, man. With the bread toasted, but I ain't do the bread. I'll get a bun, like a brioche bun or something, or sesame seed milk. Got to be toasted, mustard, relish, some lettuce, shredded lettuce, man.
But yeah, continue your point. I'm sorry, brother.
My fault. I'm almost done. So the last thing, man, I would say mindfulness. Whatever you're doing, being aware of what you're doing. So like while you're eating, not just scarfing it down, but like tasting it and chewing and thinking about what you're actually eating. And when you slow down, sometimes you realize that I don't even want anymore, but you're so used to trying to finish everything. But you're like, man, I don't even want any more of this, or I don't even enjoy the taste of it. But like actually paying attention while you're doing something can definitely help. But definitely Truth hit the nail on the head with moderation, because a lot of this stuff is moderation, not consuming so much of it, not letting it consume so much of our life. That's a big problem. Developing a disciplined mindset towards a thing. That's one of the hardest things to get to. And that's what I'm trying to work on. I'm trying to work on being able to have something sugary in front of me and me not consume it. You know what I'm saying? Like they say there's a test with kids. You put a donut out there now and you tell them if you don't eat it, you'll get 2 later. I don't have that impulse control. If that donut's in front of me, it's gone. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to develop that discipline where it's like, man, I'm not conditioned to just consume because I want it. I can say no. So that's what I'm working on now. So good habits, I say, is definitely moderation. Exercise, getting in touch with nature, like everybody says. So yeah, but I had to get those little steps out because that's what helped me get over a lot of the stuff I was doing, because I was like, it was bad. But when I read the label and saw some of the ingredients that they were putting in and were allowed to put in our food, oh man.
Woo. Yeah, they put all types of stuff in there. Remember, they used to put Coke and Coca-Cola, but that's another situation. I'm gonna acknowledge this comment by Unicorn. She's dropping gems. She says, I'm gonna be vulnerable for a sec. I can be stubborn. However, I was also a people pleaser, so I had to separate and analyze the two. Getting to know me helped me know how to know my likes, dislikes, etc. And then she said, loves that slowing down, being present. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody's saying different things. Those Eddie Murphy burgers with a whole bell pepper in it. Yes, ma'am. And then she said, Sophia Sharif, not the pepper. Sister Saida's giving us some advice. She says, do keto. Okay, Sister Saida. You know what I mean? And then Lily Sophia said, love your testimony at Unicorn. Yes, we love Unicorn's journey. Unicorn is definitely an inspiration. Please follow her on a social media journey and follow her, on everything that she's doing. She's doing some great stuff. Anybody has anything from what Sean said?
Yeah, I definitely.
Any
What he said,
perspective? Anything?
yeah, what he said again. I hope it's not going over people's head, but if it do, I'm going to highlight it. He said something so important, and it just made me think about something, man. And see, this is why. And I've already talked to him before. I talked to him months ago about how important he is. And see, one thing I know how to do, I know how to recognize people that are extremely intellectual and people that have gifts. He don't like it when people say, "Oh yeah, he's smart, he's a genius, and everything like that." But the thing is, he gonna start being aware and more confident in who he is. And I've been told him a long time, man, what you got it. So the part that I want to highlight on is he said he didn't like burgers. He liked the way it was prepared, preparation of that item. If you take away the preparation, I don't like it. And it made me think about all the things that I probably don't like. I like the way it's prepared. Like that is so daggone big, bro. Like it's a mind buster. It's simple, but it's something that we not even thinking about. And the most important thing is I try to tell people when trying to solve anything, you have to first identify the problem. Self awareness and self accountability is the key. He stated, you have to say, I have a daggone problem. And then you have to start saying, I don't want this problem no more. Then you can start attacking it. But identify it, then acknowledge it. And then you have to also now be self-aware of who you are and what type of steps you can work towards of it. Can you go cold turkey? Do you have to take moderation? Do you have to take, hey, I'm gonna do day by day or step by step, or I eat 3 times a day. Let me cut out one meal and then let me have 2 meals that day, and so on and so forth, and work until you get into a certain type of pattern that's comfortable for you. You see what I'm saying? The thing is not to, put a shock on yourself or irritate yourself so much where you give up. That's the first thing for me. Like I said, my vice was drinking and also sex. And one thing I had to realize is that, for drinking, I had to realize why I was drinking, and then also, do I need to drink? Now, it didn't become so bad to the point where it was affecting my body. So that helped a lot. A lot of times where people vices are really hard is when it becomes, symptomatic and it start affecting your actual body. So then it becomes hard because nobody wants to be in pain and nobody wants to be sick. So since it wasn't causing me pain and sickness, it was easier to be able to get away from that. The same thing with the sex situation. It was more mental than physical. You see what I'm saying? So for me, it took time, but what helped me is because overall I love God and I love Him more than my addiction, more than my vice. And that's something that, I look forward into pleasing Him. And pleasing Him is a form of worship. Being obedient is a form of worship. So I look forward in challenging self, but also look forward in saying, hey, do I love Him enough to give up something that I don't need? You know what I'm saying? And for me, also, I had to look at what type of man am I? Am I actually a man, or am I claiming to be something that I am not? And understanding, again, identifying the problem, that I have a problem with sex. I have a problem with, using women, and people don't actually look at it like that. You don't look at you as misogynistic because you just looking, hey, this is what everybody else do and everything like that. It ain't my fault that I'm getting a lot of it or whatever, or I don't have a problem getting women or things of that sort. And they're fully obliged and, they love it and everything like that. But I finally understood what it meant to be a man. And the way I learned that is getting connected with God, going to the source and finding out who I was, what's my purpose, and what it means to be a man. And then that helped me to get away from, the sexual vice, because I no longer wanted to mislead and hurt my sisters no more. I'm here to protect my sisters. And as well as the same way I'm here to protect them, I want brothers who engage with my daughter to also protect her and respect and love her enough that even when she can't protect herself, we protect them from that as well. She might be like, oh, what's the problem? We can do it. I don't have a problem. No, I'm not your husband. I'm not your husband. And I'm not, just because we can do something doesn't mean we should. That's the difference between men and women. Men and women make sound decisions. We don't go because we can. It's about should we? And then it's about, is this purposefully? And no, it doesn't have no purpose for me fulfilling the lust of the flesh to sleep with multiple women. So again, I identified the problem. I dealt with the problem. I acknowledged that the reason why I wanted to be with a whole bunch of women came from, mama issues, abandonment, and things of that sort. And that's the reason why I had a tendency to, cling to women, want to, use women to try to fulfill that void what I was missing from my mother for so long. You see what I'm saying? When we really dig and really look at how things are developed, you will learn how to basically deal with your vices and deal with it in a healthy way, and understand that losing that vice is actually helping you become a better individual. So I looked at it again like I was conquering something. That's what helped me.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Anybody else have anything else that they would like to share? You know what I'm saying? Anybody have anything they would like to share?
I think they wrapped it up really nicely, but I just want to paint this one last nerdy picture.
Okay.
I like to look up definitions of words, look at all the definitions, and try to sum up what the word means. And so, vice means, it has multiple definitions which are similar: immoral or wicked behavior, a weakness of character or behavior, a bad habit, an immoral or wicked personal characteristic. And so all of those are basically the same thing. It's something that's wrong, wicked or bad. There's other variations of how you can look at this word. So something that is, just going to say, negative. If you look at things from a mechanical standpoint, a vice grip, it's just what it is. It's something that grips something, holds it together, or holds whatever. So a vice is a grip. It has a spiritual, sometimes physical, very physical, mental grip on you. And it's up to you if you want to break free, first of all. How are you going, what steps are you going to take to break free? When are you going to just get tired? And as Arshawn's mentioned about the ego, yes, your ego says, I don't have a problem. I'm handling this just fine. Some people are functional addicts of whatever their addiction is. And that's not a good thing, though, because they need a hit to get up. They need a hit to maintain their day. They need something to go to bed. And the cycle continues over and over and over. I can say this because I have family that are addicts. I don't know if I want to call them still addicts because they've gone through the treatment process. But we have really deep conversations about the things they went through. And that added to a lot of my emotional unwell-being when I was a teenager and my mom passed away, because it was my close brother and sister, and they weren't able to be there for me when I needed them. I'm 16, 17 years old. And here they are in the middle of their addiction. Our mom passed away. And it's like, I'm still dealing with this on my own, And so that's what led to me adopting other vices in my life to deal with my emotional stuff, because I felt like I didn't have anyone to go to. My family, and I say my Arkansas family because I'm originally from Texas, my Arkansas family and I had this disconnect. And again, that's a whole other story. My therapist probably can buy a beach house from my sessions. But anyway, yeah, and I'm not trying to laugh it off as if it's insignificant. I'm just, I have a nervous thing. um,
It's all good, sister.
but yeah, vice is something that grabs a hold of you, and you have to get to a place in your life where you say enough is a freaking enough. You have to talk out loud. Like I tell people when I'm trying to minister close to them, and I'm in no shape, form, or fashion a minister. However, I feel like God still speaks to me. He still gives me a word to give to somebody else. And I tell people, you have to speak to the enemy out loud. I see you, I hear you, I feel you, but you will not win today. Talk to the enemy like you talk to your friend. Talk like you talking down on somebody on the internet. Okay, Satan. Okay, enemy. Look, I'm tired of XYZ yada yada. And then you go through whatever process you need to go through to get your healing going. Yes, it's easier said than done. Yes. However, it has to be done. When are you going to get tired of getting beat up by your ego? When are you going to get tired of getting dragged through the mud by your hair, by your ankles, and just scraping your knees and hands? Like, anyway, I know that seems graphic, but that's what some of our vices would do to us. It's like we're in a ring, both of our hands are tied up over our head, and we are just getting the holy crap beat out of us. Because we just too weak to fight back. I'm done. Sorry.
Yeah. No, thank you, Sister QB. Thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat as well. Everybody that came in, Lady Sophia, you know what I'm saying? Sister Saida, Unicorn, everybody that jumped in the chat, man. If I'm forgetting you, I'm sorry. Everybody jumped in the chat. I want to say salute to y'all. I'm gonna highlight everyone since everybody had the closing statements. I'm gonna highlight everyone. I want y'all to, let people know who you are. First, we're gonna start with Queen. Let them know who you are, Queen.
I'm Queen 502K on Knowledge and Relationship platform and the Intellectual Soapbox. That's where you can find me. That's where I'll be, and that's where I'm staying. And I'll see you later.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you. Now we got Brother Truth. Brother Truth, let them know who you are, brother.
As always, it's your boy Truth. You can find me on Truth is Never Favorite podcast. And as always, I'm over here parlaying with my brother, 84, and my brother Rio, which is also known as Knowledge and Relationships, into the Intellectual Soapbox. These are my day ones. I'm always going to support them. These are good brothers. Please like and subscribe. Support their channel because they're doing great things. And there's more great things coming through the future. And that's the whole entire Knowledge and Relationship team, down there. Queen, Lady Tammy, and etc. And of course, DJ Eddie. Yeah. But as always, please, we encourage. This was a great, great topic. Something that affects us all. And everyone up on the panel, we have our vices and things that we have endured and things that we are going through at this current time. My encourage is, to be patient with yourselves, to be patient with people, and, just continue to be self-aware, continue to do the work, learn who you are, continue to grow. And most importantly, let's love others, and as always, I encourage people because it's essential and it is a big simplifier in life. Please get a relationship with God through Jesus Christ. He is truly a way maker, and if you ever felt that you was never loved, you would never feel unloved again. I promise you. Everyone have a good night.
Brother Truth, thank you. Now we're gonna go to our other sister.
And you can pass the collection plate to the right.
Oh, I know that's right.
Sister QV, go ahead.
Hey y'all, bringing you a little Southern love from the state of Arkansas. You can catch me on the Q Spot podcast on all the social media platforms, all the podcast platforms, including YouTube. I try to bring you engaging conversation that is real and relevant. You can also catch me on the Intellectual Soapbox every Tuesday. Time kind of varies, but it's called Q Conversations, which I call my hashtag cozy conversations. We don't get all loud and rowdy, but just a little soft, warm blanket out the dryer and a cup of tea kind of conversation. And then on every other Saturday, I will bring you Ladies Night from Love and Knowledge Relationships platform. But you can catch the Q spot. I'm kind of random with my upload, so just go to my Instagram, follow, like, all that, and you will definitely get the notification when I upload.
Definitely. Thank you, sister.
Girl, you was about to say love and hip hop.
What she said?
gotta go to our brother, the genius. You know what I'm saying? Brother Arshawn, what's going on, bro? Stop frowning, man.
Nothing much, everybody, but thank you for inviting me. Intellectual Soapbox, thank you. It's good to see Queen again. It's nice to meet you, QB. Truth, as always, a pleasure. Everybody in the chat, Saida, appreciate you for the information. Lady Sophia Sharif, appreciate you for the information. And the unicorn, a unicorn word. She was dropping gems in the chat, so definitely thank you, because that was a really appreciated dialogue. So I really think these are important conversations. I'm glad there are places that are still having these type of conversations. So thank you for being here, Intellectual Soapbox, QB, Truth, Queen Forever, all hail the Queen. I don't have much else to say. If you want to find me, Critically Drinking here on YouTube, Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern. Otherwise, I'm going to spend a lot more time on Twitch, just Rashawn Dave. So RSHAUNDAVE. I'm sure I'm going to get rid of my real name on there. There's a lot of, but right now it's just me. My name is my name. That's it.
Thank you. No George Foreman to go out. All right.
Nah.
The WBO, WBC, WBA champion of the world. Thanks, stop. As always, y'all, thank y'all for jumping on Intellectual Soapbox, man. Thank you for being part of our experience. You know what I'm saying? And we really appreciate everybody who just came on, man, and rocked out. I want to thank all my panelists. I want to thank Truth is Never Favorite, Queen, you know what I'm saying, Arshawn Dave, Sister QB. Thank you all. Thank you for Unicorn. Thank you for everybody for coming on. Truly appreciate y'all. Truly appreciate everybody in the comments, Lady Sophia, Saida, everybody that came on. Truly appreciate y'all. Much love to all of y'all. She Stole My Thunder. I seen you earlier. Thanks for coming on. Somebody else that came on too early. I appreciate you as well. You know what I'm saying? And with that, everybody, you know what I'm saying? We bid you a good evening. Enjoy your weekend. All right. And remember, your vices are not you. You know what I'm saying? With that, we're out, family.
The DJ.